For great entertainment, it has to be 7.
And we'll have details on all those stories and lots more coming up next on Tonight Live. Tonight Live.
It's late at night and you've run out of tally-hos, toothpaste and Tim Tams, so it's down to the 7-Eleven to pay through the nose with Tonight Live. Microwaving a chicken hero, it's newlyweds Chris Cavani and Annie Jones. At the Slurpee machine, it's a spree owner John Bell. Grabbing some snags out of the deep freeze, it's sensitive New Age Greek Nicholas Papadimitriou. And thumbing through the adult literature, it's the Clean Up Your Act panel. But now, here she is, the woman who just popped in for a Granny Smith and a mineral water. It's Jennifer Kite.
Your hair. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Merv, or should I say, James. I was worried you were going to drop me there just for a minute.
So was I.
Now he tells me. Well, listen, good evening, everyone. We've got a great show tonight. Joining us will be fashion supremo and hip philanthropist John Bell. And Nicholas Papadimitriou is here to talk to us about the snags that you don't throw on the Barbie. Plus, we'll be helping to clean up your act. But now, they've been married for 13 weeks, which is a long time for a TV marriage. Fresh off the set from taping an episode of Newlyweds, Annie Jones and Christopher Gabbardi are here with us right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, do either of you two abseil?
No. Do you?
I've tried it.
You've tried it?
Yeah.
Are you any good at it?
I was good when I was about 15, but I don't know about now. I think you did very well going.
I did okay? I thought it was great fun. Yes, I don't think I'll do it again in a great hurry, though. Now, listen, a busy night for you two. You've just finished filming in the studio right next door.
Yeah, we have.
And another episode of Newlyweds.
Yep.
And I have to ask what the storyline is tonight, because I was wandering around there a bit earlier, and I looked up at a monitor, and I think I saw you two in bed.
We spent a bit of time in bed tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, no, it generally happens. Each episode, there's always a bed scene. Tonight, there was actually 2 bed scenes.
3 bed scenes.
3 bed scenes.
3 bed scenes?
My mother and father had a bit of a love scene as well.
Yes.
Yes, I think I saw that one as well. I thought, what's going on in that studio? Everyone just seems to be in bed all the time.
Yeah, scary sight. But,
So it's still wedded bliss for you two?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
Oh, Chris, you're hesitating a bit there.
Well, you never know what the writers might do. That's the thing. We might have a divorce or something like that.
Well, the first series, for those who haven't seen it, do you want to just describe what happened in the first series?
Well, first of all, it's basically about getting ready for the wedding. There was that, finding out where we're going to have the actual wedding and the reception, and working out dresses and the bucks party and the hens night, and so it was also a build-up to the actual wedding episode. And now we're more into wedded life, I suppose.
Yeah, we're into the scary part of marriage, apparently.
Is the honeymoon over?
Never.
Well, they've actually never had a honeymoon. We were hoping when we were first cast in the show that, fantastic, it's a...
We'll get to go to Vanuatu or something.
Something like that, Hawaii, or we'll be surfing somewhere. Yeah. And I think Ian McFadden, who's one of the writers, plans to have the honeymoon sort of down on Port Melbourne Beach or Williamstown
yeah.
Beach or something like that. I
Yes,
don't know.
it's a glamorous life, isn't
Yeah,
it? Now,
it's
we've
quite
actually got
sad.
some footage from the first series. So let's take a look at this blissful situation.
You definitely spend more money than me.
I do not.
You do. You use all the hot water.
I do not.
You do so. You were in there this morning, you did 3 tracks off the Madonna album, plus an encore. You're in there for hours. It's a wonder you don't come out wrinkled like a prune.
Well, you use all the toilet paper.
I don't.
I have to change the roll every day.
You do. I always have to change the roll.
Peter, you go through a roll of toilet paper every time you go in there. I mean, what do? Stuff great rolls of it down the S-bend?
Rubbish! Every time I go in there, there's no toilet paper. I have to go shuffling around looking for some more.
Well, I don't use it.
Oh, I see. Well, it's perfectly obvious then. There's a burglar who comes in here every day, doesn't touch the TV, has a 3-hour shower and throws the dunny paper out the window.
Now, it's not always like that, is it?
Married bliss.
Married bliss, yes.
That's what it's about.
Now, do you actually draw from your own personal experiences?
Not exactly, no. I
No?
wouldn't think, no.
So it's nothing like your domestic situation?
No, not really, no.
What about you, Chris?
Well, I actually haven't been married, so I'm faking it the whole time. I'm pretending, I think.
Do you think you'd make a good husband?
Oh, that's a real tough one. I'd make a great husband.
You would? Annie, what do you think?
I think you would, yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, I mean, how are you coping with all the fame and the attention that the series actually brings to you?
Tuffy, I actually blend into the background a bit. I don't get hassled very much at all. I haven't really been recognised that much. The great thing about the show is that it seems to appeal to kids quite a bit, and it's kind of exciting how if you're at the footy or something like that, kids will come up and say hello and stuff, and that's great, I think.
And do you
It's
enjoy
fun.
comedy? Is it nice to work in a sitcom that's comedy?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having a ball, aren't we?
Yeah, it's kind of scary. It was scary starting off,
Yeah.
being put together.
And not knowing each other and, like, first date rehearsals, you know, let's do the kissing scene, you know. It's like, oh, who is this person?
It was hard because we had to go through a couple of auditions to actually be cast in the pilot, which was made about a year ago or so. And our very first day of rehearsal, we had to actually lie on top of each other on a kitchen bench.
And rip clothes off, as I remember, and
yeah.
it was quite raunchy.
And you
yeah.
thought that would be the job for you?
Well, it's funny now, we can laugh about it now, but at the
Yeah.
time it was absolutely terrifying. When you put together and actually have to be a married couple
And be
to
comfortable
in
together
love and do
when
all
you've only
these
just met, yeah.
silly
It's
things.
weird, isn't it?
It's
Well, we look
kinda
forward to
scary.
the second series. When do we actually see it on air here?
Sometime in September, I believe.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we look forward to that. Well, you'll stay with us for the rest of the show?
We'd love to.
And it's time now for some news headlines with Naomi Robson. So what's in the news tonight?
Well, coming up in our news later, Commonwealth Bank branches may not be open tomorrow or Thursday because of strike action by employees. Former federal MP John Brumby looks set to replace Jim Kennan as Victorian Labor leader. The Prime Minister comes under fire, accused of casting doubt over Sydney's Olympic bid, and residents of a tiny South Australian fishing village take on the army.
Oh, that
I'll have
sounds
those stories for you
interesting.
later, yeah.
Oh, they take on the army. What's that over?
Well, apparently the army were practicing and kind of missed the mark.
Okay, we look forward to that. Well, Naomi, you know how the cricket's in the news a lot these days. And I guess it is great news for the Aussies because the Australian cricket team, as we know, is on the crest of a wave, leading 2-0 in the Ashes Tour of England, which is great news.
Yeah.
Well, coach Bob Simpson had this to say after bowel surgery caused strike bowler Craig McDermott's withdrawal from the team.
We've got 3 good fast bowlers over here who'll be vying for the position that Craig's unfortunately had to vacate.
And in news just to hand, the Australian selectors have reversed their decision and have secretly flown in a replacement. Seen here in slips practice, Missouri. Who is expected to add significantly to Australia's pace bowling options. And we do miss him already, don't we?
We sure do.
Yes. Now, Naomi, have you ever thought about acting?
No, I haven't.
No? You wouldn't like to be in a newlywed sitcom?
I don't think so, no.
Me neither.
Not at all. No, I couldn't.
What about
do that, I don't
abseiling? Have
think.
you ever tried that?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I loved it. Actually, the first time I went up, I was terrified. And I could hardly get up the ladder, let alone get down the other side. But once I was up there was only one choice, and I couldn't face the ladder again, so I had to go off the edge.
Have to go off the edge.
Yeah.
Now, Annie, I hear you're a bit of an angler.
I am indeed, yes.
You are?
Yes.
A good one?
Well, I try hard. I don't catch all that many fish, but I certainly try.
Yes. Do you get any tips from Rex Hunt?
I watch Rex's Hunt show regularly.
Because he's extraordinary, isn't he? The way he can
He's
just throw a
fabulous.
line in and pull out fish. I don't know how he does
Yes,
it.
yes.
What about you, Chris? What do you do to relax?
Ooh, probing question. I enjoy sailing, actually. I do a bit of sailing.
Uh-huh.
What's funny about that?
And playing the guitar?
Oh, yes, play a little bit of guitar. I wish you hadn't brought that up, because I play it
why?
very badly.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you sing as well?
No,
No?
no, and I play guitar very badly, so don't...
Or maybe
Do
we can get you
anything,
to play
please.
guitar at
No,
some
thanks.
stage.
No,
Well,
no,
you
no.
will stay with us for the rest of the show?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, but in the meantime, we do have to take a break, but we'll see you again very shortly.
I am strong. I am invincible. I
Well, welcome back. And it's that time of the week on Tonight Live where we help the loveless, the hapless, and the just plain hopeless. There's hope for us all. Yes, it's that caring, sharing segment we call Clean Up Your Act. And of course, our panellists tonight are Lillian Frank, Kerry Coon, Kathy Godbold, and Denise Scott. Now, I've been looking forward to this segment for a long time because I love the comments you girls have, and I hope they'll be just as controversial tonight.
We'll try.
So let's start right away. We have Ms. Wright from Tamworth has been unlucky in love. She writes, "For reasons that escape me, I only ever have relationships with guys who have a sex problem, a drug problem, an ex-girlfriend problem, or in the case of my last boyfriend, all three. Can the panel give me any tips on picking a winner? How depressing, a quadrilla of losers." Over to you, Lillian.
Well, have I got news for you, madam. The problem is you. You pick them. You go finding all the rotten apples one after another. It does happen when you start life with the wrong people. You keep on going. It's a pattern of life. You have to break it. You've got a quadrilla, as Jenny just said. I'm going Jennifer. Jenny.
That's right.
Yeah, sex, drugs, ex-girlfriend. What more can you have? What more do you want? Now, don't you feel sorry for yourself. Stop being sorry for yourself. Clean up your act. Get to a nicer place. Get with it.
Lillian. Okay, Kerry, can you add anything to that?
Well, I can. I know what this is. I can actually give the technical name, Jen. It's the lame duck syndrome. And what happens is, I've known these girls, they start off when they're young, they go out and they get a bird that's broken its wing, they bring it home, and they give it sort of milk with an eyedropper, and then they go on to get all these boyfriends, these sort of wounded animals, they bring them home, they look after them, and it's all this sort of caring. It's really the Florence Nightingale instinct coming out, and you've got to get it out of yourself. And what you've got to do is go down to the nearest animal hospital and get a job there, and you can pour all this sort of Florence Nightingale instinct out into the wounded animals, and you won't even have to have sex with them.
Thanks, Kerry. Kathy, what do you advise?
I agree with Miss Lillian that it absolutely is your problem. You have the problem, girl. Sorry. But I think that you have to be positive, and then you'll attract positive people to you. So
That's very good advice. Yes, very good advice. Now, Denise.
We're on a wavelength with this one, girls. We're on a wavelength. I think there's solution is a simple one. Just stop trying to pick up boyfriends at Amway meetings. You're lucky short of change. Hey?
I thought only women went to Amway meetings.
No, all the blokes.
I've got the wrong
That's
club.
where you get the nerds.
I've got the wrong club.
Well, I hear.
From experience,
No,
yes,
I'm not,
Denise.
Jennifer.
Okay, listen, we have to move right along. This is our next letter, and it's a real brain teaser from Megan of Caloundra in Queensland. And she says, I'm 16 and have just finished reading a novel which talked about sexual chemistry. Can the panel please define sexual chemistry and who has got it? Kathy, would you like to kick that off?
Well, I'd like to say, I hope everybody's got it.
Well, I have.
I have. I have too, with a certain man, but I just think it's very important, and if you don't have it, then you better start working at it, girl. But sexual chemistry is like a piece of chocolate cake you have to have. You just have to have it. It's very important, and yeah, I think everybody's got it.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. Kerry?
Well, I think sexual chemistry is one of these girly sort of things, the romance, you know, the love and all that side of it. I mean, boys aren't interested in chemistry, they're interested in biology, and, you know, it's basically the anatomy and the anatomy below the neck. And, you know, I've actually known of males, it's a very rare syndrome, but it's called autoeroticism, and they're actually attracted to car bodies, which is, I think, more widespread than psychologists would admit. And I think the ideal, you know, sexual attraction for the sort of one of the average male would be a Ferrari with silicone implants.
Okay, now, Lillian, can you add something very
quickly? I think you will know and you will feel it when it happens to you. It'll take you like a storm. You can't buy it in a grocery store. You can't. When you see the man across the room and something goes tingle, wingle, wingle, wingle into you, then you know you've got it, and nobody can tell you about it, but you can only yourself.
Thank you, Lillian.
From the head to the toe.
All right, Denise, do you have anything to add?
Oh, look, I just want to ask this. I mean, if she's got to ask us what sexual chemistry is, I want to ask her what book she was reading. Like, was it a street directory or something? For me, sexual chemistry is just everywhere. No, it is. It's you know, you've got your Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas in Basic Instinct, but even Bettina and John on bloody Play School have got it. And Eve, no, they have. It's not destroying your childhood. It's how we're educated. Even Enid Blyton novels are full of sexual chemistry. You know, Naughty and Big Ears.
Well, there we are.
Now, why do you think they're
It's everywhere. I think we're all agreed on that. And on that note, I think we'll take a break, but stay with us. Lots more to come. And welcome back. I'm with Lillian Frank, Kerry Q, Kathy Godbold and Denise Scott. And I have a very perplexing letter from Natalie in Canberra. She writes, if you've become infatuated with someone and that someone is unavailable, how do you de-infatuate yourself? That's a complex one. Lillian.
What a stupid question. What a stupid question. How can you get infatuated by somebody who doesn't even look at you or is not available? What do you want to do with him? All right, you are so stupid, go for him. And if you can't get him, don't waste your time, your energy. Plenty of fish in the sea, plenty. Go fishing.
Kerry? Well, I think it's one of these girly problems again. You know, girls hero worship from afar and they swoon and they sigh when they see, you know, their hero walking around. And the problem is, I mean, these heroes end up with a real flock of sheep bleating after them, sort of saying, isn't he gorgeous? And what you've got to remember...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women. Just watch what you say.
And you're not bleating after anyone, are you?
No, but you're talking about women walking behind one man.
These are the ones that are hero worshipping, and what happens is they're like a flock of sheep. And, you know, you've got to remember, darling, that you'll be about 29th in the flock, and by the time he gets around to you, artificial insemination would be preferable.
Well, thanks, Kerry. Well, I guess as the saying goes, just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't look at the menu. I think that's the way to go. Now, Kathy, what do you say?
Yeah, hi. Oh.
Over to you, Kathy. Just moving right along.
Well, my recipe for de-infatuation, which I've had to do before, which is really sad. Oh, God. Is have a really girly...